ऋतुपर्णा सिन्हा, राइट? शत्रुघ्न सिन्हा का कुछ फैमिली है? सोनाक्षी सिन्हा, अब सोनाक्षी सिन्हा के कुछ रिलेटिव है क्या? I know you didn't attend Saturday session. So today is a totally different. Don't worry. It's related to networking. If you attend that networking session, then you are going to understand everything. No need to bother. Right? So today topic VPC, Virtual Private Network. Virtual Private Network. Right?
Right.
Good evening, Jyoti. Right. So what is Amazon VPC? So Amazon Virtual Private Cloud, Amazon VPC enables you to launch AWS resources into a virtual network that you will define. So it's virtual network closely reassembled to a traditional network that you will operate in your own data centers, which be benefit of your user scalable infrastructure, right? Okay, so let's see guys here in our language, so no need to bother about definition. Okay, so we'll discuss now exactly what is VPC. See, simple, virtual private cloud. Virtual private cloud, for example, so if you try to deploying the network into your organization, physical network, that is your own network, right? That is your own network. You can say it's a physical network or legacy network. So how we have the traditional network, like the same way AWS, Amazon Web Services, they're offering for us called VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. So this is our private cloud inside the public cloud. AWS is a public cloud. Anybody can access, right? Yes, no. You people also you can access. I can access, like some other peoples also they can access, right? So we should have the security, right? Yes, no. If they try to providing the the entire network for everybody, right? What will happen? So each and every people they can get the information for other people's, right? So other people's information we can get. So this is not a good security, right? Maybe you have some confidential data. So if you having open network, then what will happen? So easily reminding people means other people's they can get the data from our organization. So that's why AWS they're offering us one virtual private cloud, personal cloud into private cloud. So in each and every region, we have our own VPC. We have our own VPC, virtual private cloud, right? So how does VPC it will work? It is going to work like as our network, right? We know network, right? We already discussed about networking. So while you try to deploying the network into your organization using few network devices, like the same way, they're offering virtual network for us from AWS. That is called VPC is a service. VPC is a service. Each and every region, it having by default VPC. It having by default VPC. Got it, guys? Let's see here. Exactly. Those all interview point of questions. It is a logical, isolated, virtual private cloud. This is our own cloud. It's you can say it's one kind of data center, our private data center, virtual data center. Okay. So we can create maximum how many VPCs? 5 VPCs in one region. Okay. For example, if you go to North Virginia, in North Virginia, we can create 5 VPC. If you go to Mumbai, you can create like 5 VPC in Mumbai. If you want, you can go to Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, you can create 5 VPC. If you want, you can go to like Tokyo. In Tokyo, we can create 5 VPC. So per region, we can create 5 VPCs. we can create 200 subnets in one VPC. See, we discuss about subnetting concept, right? We are dividing one network into multiple network /16/24. Did you remember? In initial days. So we are into demos at the time. So I have given the information about networking. So without networking, you are unable to survive into AWS like that I said. So did you remember? We did one network into the multiple slices. One apple, we cut the apple into the two pieces. I have given the apple to Amrita like that. Half apple for Amrita, half apple for uh, someone, right? I hope you got it, guys. Did you remember that one, right? That is called subnet. VPC is a large network. For example, our class A network, class B network, like that. Okay. VPC is a large network. In VPC, we have subnets, small networks. Network sizing like that we discuss. /16/24. 24 means 256 combinations we have. /25 means 128 combinations we have like that. So that is subnets. We are dividing one VPC into multiple subnet. In each VPC, how many subnets we can create? 200 subnets we can create in one VPC. Got it, guys? How many subnets we can create? Small networks. 200 subnets we can create in one VPC, right? How many elastic IP addresses they're offering in free tier account? 5 elastic IP address. You have to pay. I think $0.025 something we have, right? So for elastic IP address, elastic IP address means static IP address. Okay. So what is exactly static IP address, guys? For example, you have one mission. So you launch one EC2 instance. If you're launching the EC2 instance, what will happen in the sense? Your public IP address it will change, and as well as private IP address also it will change. Okay. So why? Because we have dynamic IP addresses. We have dynamic IP addresses. Dynamic means it is going to keep on changing. It is going to keep on changing. So we need to assign the static IP address. Static IP address we are not going to get for free of cost. For example, you are trying to starting your own organization, right? So if you are trying to starting your own organization, usually most of the people they are going to purchase the static IP address. Okay, this is public IP address. In private also we can assign the static. In private also we can assign the static. What is the difference between public and private? Already we discussed. Public for internet, private for intranet like that, right? So I have given the like many example for you. Few people they ask me, so sir, what is the difference between private and public network like that at the time? So public network, it's like your way. Private network, your home and your office. In between, while you are trying to traveling from your home to your office, what we are trying to following the route that is internet like that I said. Do you remember? Right? External, internal also you can say it's not a problem. So Ram Pandey, right? So got it, guys. I hope you're clear. So this IP address, static IP address, elastic IP address. Generally in our legacy environment, we are going to call static. Coming to AWS, we are going to call elastic IP address. Okay. For example, if you try to deploying the organization, we have to purchase the static IP address. Those ISP providers, they are going to provide the static IP address for us. They will charge like per month 4,000, 5,000 rupees like this, they will charge. Why we need static IP address? So because of security. So you need to send the data from your organization to maybe another branch securely. So people they are going to use static IP address. And if you need to configure your own network into your organization, always you should have the static IP address, especially for public. Why? Because if you reboot the network, what will happen in the sense? If you reboot the machine, what will happen in the sense? The IP address it is going to change from ISP. So we should not do like this. So that's why we are going to use the static IP address. Using static IP address securely, we can share our data between our organizations, right? Okay. So by default, how many? 5. By default means by default 5. You can increase the count according to your requirement. We can request to the like AWS, boss, I need like 10 elastic IP address. Then if you having commercial account, they will allow you. By default, 5 IP addresses only per account. Per account, guys, not per VPC. The entire account having only 5 elastic IP address only. Okay. Once if you create the VPC, automatically few things it will happen. If you try to creating your personal VPC, automatically few things it will happen. So it will create DHCP server, it will create NACL, network ACLs. I will tell you what is network ACL, don't worry. Security groups it will create, right? And then default route table also it will create. While you try to creating the VPC, I didn't mention here. So default route table also it will create for this VPC. With the help of that route table only, we are going to access the resources from the VPC. You know where we launch the EC2 instance. So without VPC, can we launch the EC2 instance? Is it possible, guys? No, right? I have given the information while I'm trying to teaching the EC2 instances, right? So while you try to purchasing one laptop, where you are going to keep the laptop? So you are unable to keep the laptop into air, right? You should have one space to keep the laptop, right? Yes, no. I said like Amrita, she purchased one laptop. So where she's going to keep the laptop? Into her home. Okay. Especially in her home. So we have the bedroom. So inside the bedroom, Amrita's bedroom, she's going to keep the laptop on top of the table. The home where it got located into one place, that is region. Inside the region, Amrita's home, it got located. Yes, no. So inside the Amrita's home, we have the multiple bedrooms. Each bedroom we are considering as a subnet. In that subnet only we are going to launch the instance like this we discussed. Did you remember? Right? So while you are trying to creating the VPC at the time, DHCP, NACL security groups, and it will create one default route table also. So with the help of this route table, we are going to define the route to access the EC2 instance from VPCs. Right, guys? So once VPC is created, we are unable to change CADR block. While we are trying to creating the VPC, we need to provide the CADR block. With the help of that CADR block only, we are going to define the network size. It means VPC size /16. I said for VPC provide /16, for subnets provide /24 or /25 like that. Did you remember? While we are discussing about networking concepts at the time, while we are discussing about subnetting at the time, right? Okay. Once if you assign the CIDR, you are unable to change. So if you need a CIDR, we need to create new VPC. So you have to create new VPC. Then we are going to old VPC, we are going to upgrade into the new VPC, and then old VPC we are going to remove. I hope you're clear, guys. You can extend your VPC CIDR new extra IP addresses range. So except government cloud and AWS China cloud. So I hope you're clear. So those are like interview point of questions. So related to VPC. Next, coming to VPCs, we have two types. One is default VPC, another one is custom VPC. I said now, while we are trying to log in into our AWS cloud. So there we have the region called North Virginia. North Virginia by default having one VPC. If you doesn't have the VPC, you are unable to launch the instances, right? So video is on. Whose video is on? 1 minute. Right. So I hope you got it, guys. Yes, no? So clear? So how many types of VPCs we have? How many types of VPCs we have? Two types of VPCs we have. Guys, can you hear me? Am I audible? Am I audible? Right, okay. So how many types of VPCs we have? Two. Default VPC, custom VPC. We know about default VPC. Each and every region, by default, it having one VPC. Each and every region, by default, it having one VPC. Without VPC, we are unable to launch the instance, remember. So that's why each and every region, it having one default VPC. Coming to custom VPC. So custom VPC means according to our requirement, we can customize our VPC. We can create our own private cloud. Depends on our requirement, depends on your IP addresses. You can create your own public private cloud VPC. You can. So two types of VPCs we have. By default, each and every region we have default VPC. So you can create according to our requirement our customer VPC also. So while you are try to log in into your AWS account, each and every region it having default VPC. Default VPC, each and everything by default we have. VPC CIDR you have, route table you have, IGW you have, internet gateway we have, security group we have by default. While you try to launching the instance at the time, security group it is going to create, right? NACL we have by default, right? Everything automatically it got created by whom? AWS only. Right? So this VPC it is going to create along with your account, root user account in each and every region. So that is default VPC. If you go to any region, by default, we have one default VPC. Coming to custom VPC, we have to create according to our project requirement. So we have to create according to our project requirement custom VPC. So this VPC, according to our requirement, we will create. So we need to create CIDR block. Means we have to provide the size for VPC. We need to create subnets. We need to create IGW. We have to create route table. I hope you got it, guys. Those all we need to create according to our requirement in custom VPC. In custom VPC. I hope you got it, guys. Yes, no? Right. So coming to VPC, we have few features into VPC. So in VPC, virtual private cloud, we have few features. Right? So you know VPC stands for virtual private cloud. Okay. So virtual private cloud VPC is a virtual network that closely reassemble a traditional network that you operate in your own data center like this. Before we discuss, right, what is VPC? So it is going to looking like as our own network, our own traditional network. How you are trying to deploying the network into your organization, physical network or legacy environment. Like the same way they got us reassembled. Okay. So in VPCs, we have few concepts, features. VPC having subnet concept, then IP addresses. Already we discussed about IP addresses, guys. So this VPC, it will support IPv4 and IPv6, both it will support, but here I am going to teach you IPv4 only. I'm going to teach you IPv4 only in this course because this is basic, right? So that's why. So IP address concept we have. Next concept. Routing uses route table. How to route the traffic. So how we are going to route the traffic with the help of route table. How to create the route table and everything I'll show you practically, don't worry. Right? So gateways and endpoints. How to create the gateway also I will teach you. If you have the time, I will teach you NAT gateway also, don't worry. Right? So what is NAT gateway? What is IGW? I'll provide the differences between IGW and NAT gateway. So peering concept. How to enable the communication between two different VPCs with the help of peering concept, traffic monitoring concept, right? Those are all the features we have into our VPC. Transist gateway. So VPC flow logs, VPN. Guys, VPN, VPC flow log and transist gateway and the traffic monitoring. Peering, I'll see if you having time, I will teach you about peering, exactly what is peering, right? So in our course content, what we have, those topics I will teach you. This is our course